we're feeling the love. And when I say we're, I mean you. A little love coming through. It's good to see, though, Jodie.
Yeah, thank you.
I get a lot of stories away from the mic saying, I've tuned in. I've been waiting for Jodie to make her comeback.
It's nice.
It's a really, really solid theme. So congratulations to you.
Is it starting to grate on you?
Not at all. I actually really enjoy it. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Saying that, let's bring you back down.
Jodie and Hayesy's Mean Tweets.
It's time to do a little thing we like to call Mean Tweets. Not the first time this has been done before, but it's a good opportunity to really feel some feedback.
I see what's happening here. I've had some nice feedback on the phones this morning, but because it's been about me, you've gone, we should just do an edition of Mean Tweets just for the hell of it.
Yeah. Do you know though as well? Even the mean tweets. So you cop the nice stuff, which you deserve. I cop the brunt of the mean tweets.
Oh, do you?
Which is completely fine. Because
Okay.
I read them and laugh whilst I cry.
Okay.
All right. What do we got? Let's hear them.
Strippers and shirtless Hayesy. What won't these two do for ratings?
Nothing's off me.
Don't know what's worse. Ben, Liam and Belle leaving, or Ben, Liam and Belle being replaced by these two.
That's a good call.
Congrats. I'm an insomniac, but somehow you two still manage to bore me to sleep every day.
At least you're listening.
Still trying to work out who this Hayesy bloke is.
Me too.
Well, there's 2 hours I'll never get back. I would rather in my hands and clap than listen to these two any longer.
Oh, my God.
Is this a mum and son show?
Everybody hurts
Okay.
sometimes.
It's good, solid feedback.
That was okay. That was okay till that last one. Idiot wrote that.
I'm not sure.
God.
People, they need a voice. Twitter's a good outlet.
That person is an absolute moron. And do you know why? Because I don't have boys. I can only have girls.
Yeah,
So the
exactly.
joke's on you.
Joke's on you, champ. All right. Everyone, clap along with us. Go to your toilet in your hands and clap along. Jodie and Hayesy.
I'm a little bit nervous about what I'm about to reveal next because it might get me into trouble on the home front. But you know what? I'm going to do it.
You know what? Just get it out there. Get it out on your chest right now.
I will. I will. Now?
Yes.
Like actually now? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I got stitched up yesterday pretty badly. So basically what happened was I have a little dancer in my household. She's 9 years old. She lives to dance. She does like 20 classes a week. It's literally my superannuation is going into her dance fund. And so yesterday I woke up in the morning, she's like, oh, Mummy, you taking me to the dance seminar? I'm like, oh, yeah, that was the thing that you vaguely spoke about ages ago that I didn't pay attention to. And she's like, yeah, so we have to be there by 11:30. It goes to about 3:30. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll drop you off. And she's like, no, you don't get to drop me off. You have to stay. I went, what? What do you mean I have to stay for 4 hours? And she's like, yeah, you got to stay the whole time. And so what I didn't understand at the time, when her dad, and I'm going to say this again, her dad signed her up to this seminar, is that you cannot leave. So once you arrive at 11:30, you have to stay on a beautiful Sunday when there's fringe going on and there's all sorts of amazing things happening in Adelaide. You have to stay in a dance hall, Andrew Hayes, for 4 hours and be lectured about how the girls need to enter the stage, why tights are so important, how many dance competitions they should be in. It was like this real drill down on dance. And I'm like, this is why my superannuation is going into a dance school, because I don't have to attend these things and I don't have to understand any of it. I don't want to understand any of it. And so that happened yesterday.
It's a good solid move by Greg, isn't it? I don't think he was actually planning this, but what he did was he pleased your daughter and also freed himself up on a Sunday.
And
did he go play golf or something?
No, yes, he did. He was free to do whatever he wanted. And I genuinely was happy to be there because it made my daughter happy. And it made her happy to look over and see Mum was sitting there attentively until, you know, it got to 1:30 and Mum was hungry and went to the sushi train. That's fine. And I came back. That's the whole point. But 13, 24, 10, when did your partner stitch you up? That's what I want to talk about this morning.
I tell you what, I'm so blessed that Cara will go to all of these little events and just take it like an absolute champion. And there's been a couple of times where I've had to go to some of these birthday parties, 2 years old, 3-year-old birthday parties, and I don't know anyone.
No, drop and run. Drop and run, mate.
It's just dropping off your 2-year-old with a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, that's kind of
frowned upon these days.
Yeah, I get that. 2's probably a bit young. Yeah. But the older kids, please. Oh, I just want to hear from parents. Drop and run's okay, isn't it? Isn't it? That's what you need to do. 13, 24, 10. When has your partner stitched you up? Marnie from Adelaide, what happened?
I am 16, so it's not related to my partner stitching me up, but it's related to the idea of, is it all right to do drop and run?
Yes.
I believe that it is, as long as you check your info. My dad left me at a yoga class, I did a drop and run, for an hour, and the yoga class wasn't on.
Classic
good.
Dad.
So that was, when was that, did you say? A long time ago, Marnie?
Yeah, a while ago, yeah.
So no mobile phone to say, hey, Dad, you turn, come get me?
No mobile phone. I had no sense of direction, so I was just stuck there.
It's a bit different back in the day.
It's hard. That's hard, Marnie. I'm so sorry. Christy, from Old Ranella. Hey.
Hi, guys. How are we?
Good. What happened?
Good. So I came home from picking up my son from childcare and had a little bit of a rant to my husband about one of the workers and comments she made, and he decided to go in the next day and then have a conversation about everything we said privately, thinking that he was doing the right thing. And I had to walk back in there with my tail between my legs, pretending like I actually never said anything at all.
Oh, my God. Oh.
How can I just don't understand? I have to see them every day. And he was like, I thought I was doing the right thing, having a conversation with her.
I was a classic man. I'm trying to fix it. I just want to fix it.
Oh, you dug the hole deeper there, though.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I went, how could you ever say that to her? That was just me ranting.
Very good stuff. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for getting involved this morning. Look, Greg Ogden's got some explaining to do. I think we'll say that much.
As always. And I know you do your damn best to defend my husband, but on this occasion, you got nothing.
He makes it tough sometimes. He really does.
He makes it really tricky.
Taboo. It's sweet as taboo. Taboo Tuesday.
Favorite topic Tuesday.
Jodie and Hayes's Taboo Topic Tuesday.
Yes, Taboo Topic Tuesday. This is fast becoming my favourite part of the show. We do it once a week, and it's those parts or those stories which you just sort of say, oh, can you talk about that? Where we're doing it.
Yeah.
And we're having a crack at it.
We're being brave.
Being brave, that's all we can be. Stunning and brave sometimes. Our next guest, Jodes, is a man by the name of Colin McLaren, who is an undercover cop, and this is unbelievably fascinating.
It is such an incredible story, and he joins us now. Good morning, Colin.
G'day, Jodie.
Let's go back to the start. You spent 37 months inside the Australian mafia across 2 different stings. Let's talk about the first one. What did it involve, and who were you basically pursuing?
Yeah, we were given an open ticket to the mafia investigation in Australia by the federal government under the umbrella of the National Crime Authority back then. We set about amassing our list of targets like everybody else in all the different states in Australia. It was a national effort. And we just focused on Griffith and New South Wales and Australia's relationship with the mafia. And it was the first really big investigation we'd ever undertaken in this country into the mafia, and off we went. And we tried all different ways to try and, penetrate them and lock them up and put them away. But each time we did, they were sort of playing chess with us and outsmarting us. And then one day, I guess it was about 9 months into the investigation that went for a couple of years, and we lucked in Griffith, and we got an introduction into the mafia, so I went undercover.
How long does it take? How long does it take to build a relationship where basically you're in? Because I feel like this is a bit of a tough boys' club to crack.
It is. It's probably the toughest of all, Andrew. Infiltration is the hardest type of, I guess, covert investigations you'll ever do. This was a long-term one. It took us 2 years in the end to get to the end. And you've got to really keep layering it in. You've got to keep meeting them and negotiating yourself. And you can't sort of be too forward about it because, at the end of the day, I'm a skippy. I'm an Aussie, just like I guess you are, Andrew. We're not Italian. We don't think Italian, and we don't speak Italian, and all the different dialects. So you can't push yourself into that crowd. You've really got to be slowly catch a monkey. And that's exactly how we played it for 2 years. And eventually they will come around. That's infiltration. Eventually they'll wake up one day and they'll realise that all of a sudden you're their second best friend. How did that happen? I only know this guy 12 months, but he's all over me like a rash. But we're good mates, and off you go, and you start doing business and drug deals and talking murders and conspiracies.
And so you posed as a dodgy art dealer. How did this sting unfold?
We had about 6 months of socialising. That's that infiltration slow process I just mentioned. And in that, eventually, they are going to get sick of socialising with a couple of skippies. I had a girlfriend who was undercover, or an undercover female policewoman who was playing the role of my girlfriend. And we had to really start getting dirty about crime. The mafia aren't chasing friendships. So after 6 months of socialising in nightclubs, etc., we had to really start, I guess, layering in the need for criminality. We wanted to buy drugs from them. We had clients, we told them, of course, we had clients that wanted cocaine and also cannabis, and that started to layer in. That took another 6 months, and then all of a sudden we're able to buy big rocks of cocaine like the size of footballs and pure cocaine from Colombia, and talk about conspiracies. We're buying truckloads of cannabis, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And after 2 years, we all had to agree. We had oodles of evidence, and we had to get out of this somehow, and we called a bus.
Colin, we're going to ask you to stick around because this is absolutely fascinating, but we need to hear about the fact that you brought down one of the biggest criminals Adelaide has ever seen.
Taboo. Taboo. It's sweet as taboo.
Taboo.
Taboo Tuesday. Jodie and Hayes's Taboo Topic Tuesday.
So, Hayesy, we're talking to Colin McLaren. He was an undercover cop for 37 months. He brought down the Australian mafia, or some of the biggest crims. One of them is a little guy called Dominic Perry, who is possibly one of South Australia's most high-profile criminals. Talk us through what happened there, Colin.
That was a very, very important job. Of course, none more important than the investigation into the death of Jeffrey Bowen. He was a great detective of the National Crime Authority attached to Adelaide, and I guess there's a shocking crime in Adelaide. South Australians know about this more than all the rest of Australia. But we decided to mount an operation against him, and we used the same methodology, I guess, as we did in Griffith and across the eastern seaboard of Australia with the New South Wales and Victorian mafia. It is an infiltration process. We just sort of changed the cards in the deck a little bit. So instead of being a dodgy art dealer, we came up with a scenario of operatives working together like an ensemble, 4 operatives, all willing to make amphetamines or speed in a clandestine laboratory. And we put ourselves out there. And it was an extraordinary operation. Went for just over 9 months. It was probably the most intense operation of all, even though the previous one in Griffith certainly was. This relied a lot of, I guess, on the bravery of the other operatives to get close to Dominic Perret and his associates in the speed lab And we were, in the end, successful.
Dominic, of course, responsible for the bombing of the NCA building. How did you work out that he was your man?
I was invited over to Adelaide to read everything, and that was one of the conditions when they said, would you come over? I said, yeah, as long as you can give me every file you've got. And I read for about a week every single document. I was looking for any suspect. I didn't want to be pointed to a suspect. And in the end, it was obvious it was Dominic Perret. And we can say that now quite openly, I guess, because he was convicted in the Supreme Court of the murder of Jeffrey Bowen and attempted murder of Solicitor Peter Wallace. But there was little doubt to me. When the intelligence was dissected and read and studied, there wasn't a second suspect, Jodie. He was all over it, Dominic Perret, so it didn't take a lot to work it all out.
It's unbelievable. And the detail as well. This podcast is just mind-boggling, Colin. The Sting, of course, on Apple and Spotify, 9 episodes in total. I just want to ask you, mate, why do you do this job and what drove you to do it? I mean, people talk about being stressed about their jobs and not being able to let go of their work when they get home. I'd imagine that'd be hard for you, knowing that each morning when you go to work, potentially a false move and you could end up dead.
Yeah, I guess, but you could say that about a lot of different jobs in a community. And why did I do it? I guess it had to be done. Let's face it, the tragic death of Jeffrey Bowen, it was not ever going to be on. Someone had to do something about it. And again, I refer back to an extraordinary team of detectives at different levels that we all banded together and made a pact that we would try and solve this crime. It took 28 years in the end to win, and I'm very, very proud of it.
Mate, it's an unbelievably fascinating story. So the podcast is called The Sting. It's available at Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. There's 9 episodes, mate. We appreciate your time this morning, and best of luck with the podcast. It's fascinating.
Thank you very much, Andrew and Jodie. All the best.
Thank you. Well, Hayesy, you're new here to Nova, and you need to tread very carefully because you have quite the reputation for getting people's names wrong.
Oh, so you want to go into a situation, a social situation, with confidence?
Yeah.
And you want to address people by their name because obviously it's easy just to call everyone mate.
Yeah.
So I try and get on the front foot.
Yeah.
But if you stuff it up,
yeah,
it stays with them, I think, for a lifetime. For example, if I was calling you, I don't know, Jemima instead of Jodie for a long time, you're going to remember that, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to think you're arrogant at the same time. My husband and I have a system. If we're in a social situation and I say, oh, hi, how you going? This is my husband, Greg. He knows that's his cue that I don't know the name of the person that we're speaking to. So he'll go, hey, I'm Greg. And then only on the very rare occasion they won't reciprocate.
Yeah, I know.
And then we're both in the dark.
They should pick it up as well. And then afterwards, when they introduce themselves, you go, oh, sorry, I was just about to introduce you.
Oh, sorry.
But you jumped in and did the job for me.
Exactly. We have a mutual friend at Channel 7. She's one of my best friends in the world. And she took great delight in telling me a story about how you, for many years, mixed up someone's name.
Oh, my gosh. And I don't know if this is my fault or the person who I've been calling the wrong name for so long, if it's their fault for not correcting me. But yes, probably about 3 years, a gentleman by the name of Steve, who, for whatever reason, I was calling Paul. It's not a go-to name, is it? So the person you're talking about, a mutual friend, his name is Chantel, and up near her office. And then one time I walked past Paul at the time and said, thanks for that, mate. Good on you, Paul. Be back in a second. And Chaz is absolutely losing it. What is going on here, Chantel? Paul, his name's Steve. I'm going, you're kidding. Oh. For years,
yeah,
I've been calling him Paul. And he'll go, I'll go, morning, Paul. You go, morning, Hayesy. Just takes it. Accepts it like he'd accepted it. So I don't know who's in the wrong here, first and foremost.
Well, okay. But your form has transferred over to Nova 919. Tell everyone what happened.
It's already happened. So I met a lot of people at the Nova Christmas party. I'm banking all these names.
So did Zoe.
Yeah. Zoe. Still hung over a little bit,
At
only months
midnight.
ago.
Yep.
And then a young man by the name of Jono, who I met, who's a fantastic young man.
Yep.
Works up at AA for a little bit and
Yep.
a real likeable bloke.
Yep.
So he came in one morning to fix something, and I've jumped on the front foot and gone, there he is. G'day there, Jimmy. And I haven't been this embarrassed for a long time. He started having a conversation and fixing something in here, and mid-conversation went, yeah, da-da-da, it's Jono, by the way, da-da-da, and then carried on. It's Jemima and Hayesy on Neighbour.
Jodie and Hazy's Dead or Alive.
We like to call it a celebration of both life and death in the form of a game. Winner of this little contest gets coffees, and it is run by young producer extraordinaire, Zoe. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the studio. What you got
Thank
for
you
us
so
this
much.
morning
Yeah,
in terms of celebrities that may have passed or may still be with us?
I've got 3 celebrities. I'll tell you a bit about them. You've got to tell me if they're dead or alive. First up, Denzel Washington.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish.
Denzel Hayes Washington Jr., an American actor, filmmaker. He's been described as an actor who reconfigured the concept of classic movie stardom. He has won 2 Oscars, 3 Golden Globes, and a Tony Award. Born December 1954, dead or alive.
You think you can do this to me? You've been playing basketball at Pelican Bay.
Where's that from?
Yeah, training day. God, he's iconic.
Oh, yeah.
He's amazing, Denzel Washington.
I like that movie.
Is he dead or alive?
That's why he's very much alive.
He's alive.
He's alive. Well done.
Come on, Zoe.
Yeah.
Come on,
1-0. 1-0.
Work harder.
All right. Stan Lee.
It is such fun creating characters, writing stories. When you do something that you know the fans seem to enjoy, that gives you such satisfaction, you don't want to stop.
Stan Lee, an American comic book writer, editor, publisher and producer, he rose through the ranks of family-run business called Timely Comics, which would later become Marvel Comics. Born December 1922, dead or alive.
Stan.
Well, I'm going to say that Stan Lee, and bless him, he's old. Man, he is old as. He's still alive. So, good stuff, Stan.
He's dead. Good one. Because that would make him 101. He died in November 2018.
Okay.
So that's 2 Jodie, 1 Hayesy.
Woo!
Looking good. Looking good.
I've been in this position before, and
That's
it
all right.
hasn't ended well.
Do you know what your problem is? When you get in this position,
You get
start,
in my head.
Yeah, but you start tasting the coffee as well. All right? Just got to live in the moment.
No, I get it. Okay.
All right, last one. Holland Taylor.
There were literary dramas on these Playhouse 90 things. And that's when I saw people acting. So that's when I thought I would do it.
Holland Virginia Taylor, an American actress, best known for her series of iconic roles in 2.5 Men as the mum, Legally Blonde, George of the Jungle, and recently Mr. Mercedes. Born January 1943, dead or alive. Jokes?
What do you got?
I'm going to say that if you said she starred most recently in something, so I'm going to go with she's still alive. Come on, let's go the win.
Hazy.
Well, look, I'm going to say, I have to say dead, because if I say alive and we're both wrong or you're right, then you win. So I'm going to say the opposite and say she's dead.
She's alive.
Hey, calm down. All right. I left my wallet at home, so there'll be no coffee.
Thanks, Hazy. Coffee's all round. Well done, Joyce. You redeemed yourself.
This feels like the first time I've ever won ever.
Yeah, good one. Good one, boys.
Thank God Stanley died.
Yes, this is the part of the show where somebody tells a lie and someone tells the truth.
Yes.
And you can get yourself rewarded for it.
With a $100 Schnithouse voucher. How good.
How very, very good.
Smashing down a couple of schnitzels.
Yeah. And washing it down with a couple of steins of lager.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And just before we get into it as well, it needs to be noted, you're not a great liar.
No, I'm not very good.
Yeah,
am
you
I?
stumble a bit, don't you?
Yeah, okay.
Me, though.
You on the other hand, bloody Danny Deception over here.
Oh, Danny Deception. That's what they used to call me in high school. Oh, it's old Danny Deception.
Okay, I got one for you. So there was one year that I went to Derby Day for the Spring Carnival, and I was lucky enough to be in the Emirates tent, right? I don't know how I wangled my way in there. And so I went to the toilet on Derby Day, and standing in the line, 2 people in front of me was Scary Spice.
Really? Scary Spice?
Yeah, EP Sean's just fallen off his chair because he bloody loves Scary Spice. She was when you were the head of the what was it? Your sports Spice Girls Club in Year 6. Who was your favourite Spice Girl?
Sporty.
Yeah.
Melanie Christian.
Right. Okay.
If you ever get me a
Did
Spice
I say
Girl,
Sporty or Scary then?
You said Scary.
Yeah, that's the right one.
Yeah.
If you ever find me a Spice Girl, I would do whatever. I will work 50 million hours for you.
You already do.
Yeah, but I'll work even more hours. That's my dream.
Okay.
Spice Girl.
All right, great man. Calm down. You're starting to sweat, all right?
So anyway, I thought this is my opportunity here, so I struck up a conversation, didn't I? And we just started talking about it. I was like, how old are your kids now? Blah, blah, blah. We had a chat about our kids, and then she went into the cubicle and was there for quite a while. And then out she came, and that was my...
Did you follow her into the cubicle?
No, I didn't follow her into the cubicle. Why would I do that? Because I'm not a freak.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my story.
So, in a way, what you're trying to say is that you interviewed Mel B.
I did.
So
Why do you do it? Why do you do it? Why do you continually insist on insinuating that I like to drop names about people I've interviewed?
Because I haven't interviewed anyone famous. In fact, the only person I've interviewed famous quite recently was Horacio Fantasia. I'll take that right at the top. Okay, look, that's very believable. Because you're a friendly person. Sounds like she was a friendly person.
Yeah, she was lovely.
A couple of friendly people just striking up a conversation.
Yeah.
Before she ducked off the toilet. All right, I got one for you.
Yeah.
So I used to live in Sydney.
Yeah.
Before I moved down here in 2006. It must have been 2001, actually. It would have been probably 15 or 16. I used to play cricket out in Parramatta. I got rolled twice in 1 week.
What do you mean?
So really not unusual. Do people say that anymore? You got robbed?
So you got robbed?
Robbed, yeah.
No one
so
says that.
what would happen is you would go down, particularly if you were cruising down the streets of Parramatta, and someone would genuinely either say, I've got a knife on me, or they would show a knife and say, give me your wallet.
Yep.
And you would pass over your wallet. It would happen so much back in the day. And for the longest time, we'd sit there and be like, oh, it's never happened. When it does happen, and we sort of get taught as well, like if that does happen, just, give your wallet over.
When you initially said you got rolled and you mentioned cricket, I was like, oh, so he got out twice in a week. Well, like, so what?
Oh, we got rolled inside 2 days. And you're like, that's such a boring, believable story.
Isn't that a horrible story? All right, 13 24 10. Very quick recap. 2 stories. I just told the story about how I went to Derby Day in the Emirates tent and I met Scary Spice in the toilets. One of the best days of my life. You, on the other hand, told a story about how you got robbed twice in a week.
Yeah, I got robbed. So originally
One's
I said,
significantly more glamorous than the other, isn't it?
Isn't it? Right in the heart of Parramatta, the beautiful western suburbs of Sydney.
Okay,
yeah, you're right. They're 2 very, very different stories.
different stories. Let's go to Shane from Huntfield Heights. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, guys. How you going?
Good. I really want to give you a $100 Schnit House voucher. Who's telling the truth and who's telling a lie?
I'm backing you this time, Joe. Last time you let me down, but I'm going for you this time.
Oh, you got through again, Shane. Well done. I'm sorry I let you down last time, but on this occasion, you're off to the Schnit House. I'm telling the truth. Oh, I'd totally forgotten about that story, and then I thought, oh, yeah, that happened.
There you go.
There you go, Shane. Congratulations.
No, thanks, guys. Cheers.
Awesome. We'll play again next week, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that. We're not schnitting you. Schnit House Australia serves the best schnitzels made fresh daily with authentic Golden Classic or celiac-friendly breadcrumbs. Hilton, Golden Grove and O'Halloran Hill.
Jodie's Diary.
Dear Diary, it's been a roller coaster this week and it turns out I've been riding it without a bra on. My little niece, who's only about 6, dropped truth bomb at the Fringe the other day in front of several hundred Fringe goers and just loudly pronounced, "Auntie Jodie, you're not wearing a bra." And I wasn't.
Everyone thought, well, that's interesting information to know.
Isn't it? But at least I don't go round blowing kisses to randoms at the gym.
And I was in an absolute different world. I've accidentally, when saying goodbye to him, kissed my hand and then waved to him. And I didn't realise I'd done it until after he'd left, but I picked up something wasn't quite right when he gave me this really strange look, and I thought to myself, why did I do that? And I know why I did, because that's what I do to my kids when I leave. When I'm walking out the door, I kiss my hand and wave like that goodbye.
And not only did my good friend Andrew try to proposition a bloke, he also tried to say he's got no interest in naked women.
So Asher is an adult entertainer, so she's a stripper at the Palace in Adelaide. And look, I've got to be honest with you, Jodes, I haven't met too many strippers before, so this is a new, different space.
Sort of buzzer sound effects, like incorrect.
Got this.
Diary, this week Abby in the newsroom and I got emotionally naked as we penned letters to our 13-year-old selves for International Women's Day. And my goodness, I couldn't be prouder of her bravery.
To dear 13-year-old Abby, strap yourself in, little miss. It's going to be a hell of a bumpy ride. In a few years' time, you'll meet a boy who'll be the first person in the world you love more than just a friend. I'm crying already. He'll make you cry with laughter, he'll be fun and silly and make you think about the world in a different way. But he'll decide that this world isn't where he wants to stay, and you'll spend the next 20 years asking yourself, what could you have done to make him stay? You'll be really angry and the pain will make it hard to open yourself up to love in the future. But please promise me, don't ever close yourself off. You like to be hard on yourself, extremely hard, and we have so much more hard work to change this, and I want you to start now. You will learn what you think is what you attract, and when you figure this out, my darling, oh my goodness, you're a scary force to be reckoned with. And decide much sooner in life to love yourself. It'll make things so much easier. Love your 33-year-old self.
Okay. Dear 13-year-old Jodie, stop telling yourself you aren't enough. I mean, really stop it, because you actually are. You have good intentions and a lot of empathy and a nice heart, and that's a good thing, so don't apologise for it. You're going to feel like a total imposter in your career, and just know you aren't alone in feeling like a woman who's a total fraud in the workplace. You're going to spend your days telling yourself you aren't thin enough, you're not pretty enough. Jodes, you're going to have 4 of the most beautiful girls you can ever imagine. Hug them and love them hard, because you will never do anything more worthwhile in your life than raise those beautiful little blonde babies. So finally, young Jodie, you just need to know that you're going to be okay, and being a woman is a gift, and you'll be surrounded by other incredible women. So embrace them, make it your mission to bring light into every room you walk in, and definitely. All right, let's lighten the mood with a bit of Snoop Doggy Dogg. Everyone's going to Snoop Dogg, aren't they?
Snoop's going to Snoop Dogg.
Snoop's what?
They're just going to put a big stick up there.
What do you mean?
A big stick up where, Hayesy? My older sister's going to Snoop Dogg, by the way, so people are going.
Thank you very much.
What about, so who organises this? Imagine competing with Ed Sheeran.
And Dari, by the end of the week, I was feeling a little bit deflated about the fact that my husband is trying to kill me. So this all started a little while ago when I got a notification saying that he'd updated my life insurance.
Okay.
And I would have thought all my money would go equally to my children. Not so. He updated it, so it was like 50% him, and then whatever was left over was divided amongst the children. I really did trust him until when I was driving my car, the brakes didn't work. He's like, oh, what's going on? Take it to a mechanic. And the mechanic said, there is an actual slice in the brake hose. And the mechanic looks at me, and I'm not joking, he goes, there's someone who doesn't like you?
That was great.
That was great.
Greg's trying to get you.
My husband's trying to kill me. Okay, so my family's a little bit dysfunctional, but at least I can adult.
Tell you what, if I had $1 every time my wife said, I have 3 children, I go, no, you've got 2 children. Oh, you're talking about me as well. Okay, great.
So So to Snoop Doggy Dogg, my girl Abs in the newsroom, and all the braless women, go off, Queens. Have a wonderful weekend. All my love, Jodie.
Oh, very nice. Good stuff. Another excellent edition of Jodie's Diary.
Had a bit of everything, didn't it?
Oh,
that was a
really
roller coaster. And I love
Relax.
how I seamlessly segued from Abby's very heartfelt letter into Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yeah, I know. It was like, okay, where to from here? Well, let's talk Snoop Dogg. Seems like your stock standard seamless transition, doesn't it?
Exactly right.